My name's David Greening, born and bred LA, grew up in the Valley, been living in the city for, 10, 15 years now. My uncle, he was an architect and architectural photographer. He really got me into looking at the lines of architecture and just enjoying buildings. And then that all kind of segued into loving design, getting into like furniture, getting into collecting art. Once you fall down the rabbit hole, you just keep going. I think of myself more as a creative person, but for a living, I do paralegal work. I get to use the rational part of my brain, and I part-own a watch company, which lets me do a bunch of creative stuff. And then on the side, I play music and just hang out with my friends and, make a racket. I was looking for a new apartment and found this place. You just knew it was home the second you walked in. The neighborhood's Echo Park. It's actually the sub-neighborhood of Angelino Heights. It is the first historic preservation zone in the city. So you feel like you step back in time a little bit. There's vintage streetlights, it's all these old houses, and you just see these cool vistas and view the skyline of downtown. It's just a great little time warp place to live in. It's currently a fourplex, but there's stairways that separate all the houses, so it feels a lot more separate. It feels a lot more like a house than just, an apartment. The house is a complete collection of my life. It's stuff that people have given me, it's family heirlooms, it's things I've collected over the years in travels, little knickknacks, cool furniture, comics, books, art. This place is the culmination of all of that. It really shows me. First walking in, the thing that strikes you the most is the archway that separates the living room and the dining room. And it's just an amazing visual. I've never seen anybody do that with the pedestals. It just draws you right into the house. The arch really helps delineate the space for me. It splits the living area with what I see as the working area. I really wanted to make the living space conversational. I like to entertain, I like to have people over. And sure, there's a big TV, but that's not the focus of the place. The focus is to have people engaged with each other. That's balanced by my office set up with my desk, my computer. I've got my music stuff set up. You've got the listening music section and you've got the playing music section. You've got this great vintage radio that I found at a garage sale. It was owned by the same family since 1959. I've got my vintage record player. I've got these speakers that I actually inherited from family that are just killer hi-fi speakers. This is a place to just sit and relax, spin records with friends. There's also the playing music section, which I've got vintage guitars, new guitars, banjos, and a bunch of amps here so I can play or record music if I want, just jam. Found this awesome card catalog that's actually like DVD and CD storage, which worked even better for me because my mom was a librarian, so I remember growing up and do the Dewey Decimal System and look up stuff. It kind of just creates a neat visual. There's a dining room with this great chandelier and this cool built-in. You knew it was going to be a bar when you walked in because of that mirror. It just looks like an old-timey saloon. The bar houses a little bit of my eclectic art collection and my little knick-knack and family heirloom stuff. And you'll notice this really cool art guitar that I bought from this local artist, Anthony Osgang. It's almost done like a cool old World War II bomber plane with the little pinup, but the pinup is a cat. And then it just works as a great functional bar. I like to entertain, have cocktails here, have parties. It's also a cool little built-in, so it houses my record collection, which, as you can see, we need lots of space for that. Some of the things that I'm really proud of are actually a lot of my family heirlooms. It's been great being the caretaker of a lot of our memories. Because it means so much to me, I like to display it and show it off. This was actually my grandfather's pipe collection, and this Lincoln one I'd always see it in the study, and I just would fixate on it. So when he passed away, it was one of the few mementos I just really had to have. And the Sherlock one is actually the one my uncle's smoking in that photo, so it's really cool that I get to tie my whole family together here. I'm not afraid of my nerdy tendencies and letting them shine. So there's a lot of vintage toys. I got into collecting tin toys for a while. Better craftsmanship, better style. I've got these cool ray guns that are just neat. Who wouldn't want to have a ray gun in their house? It's something you just see and you can't pass it up. These were my grandfather's medals from World War II, and he was in the Army Air Corps and flew as a radio operator on a troop transport. It just makes me proud to display them and remember him by. They're actually almost the centerpiece of the home, and it fits because my family means a lot to me. Cruising around, looking at the house, they redid the kitchen in this beautiful kind of Spanish tile, which just really made it pop. While it has modern convenience and new appliances, it still retains a lot of the old cabinetry that goes all the way to the ceiling. It shows my personality, especially if you just look at the fridge and it's covered with photographs, random collectibles, artwork, the targets that I've shot. You might have noticed the weird statue of a frog. That's actually a trophy that I won as a costume contest, and I'm kind of proud of that. You'll notice the house has these beautiful original dark wood floors, which connects the living space to my bedroom, and there's this cool hallway. For me, it's a great long space to display a lot of my artwork. You look at some of the paintings or prints and they're just quirky, they're wacky, and that's what I really like. So art should be fun. My house should be fun. It's got a good sized bedroom, which was perfect for me, and nice windows that give me light, which is what I really care about. Some people might say that my bedroom looks like a high-end menswear shop. It's got my hats, my watch collection. This is all stuff the company I work with makes, and my shoe collection. My grandfather owned a shoe company, so I inherited this lifelong love of shoes. This was a bracelet that my great-grandfather made in World War I. He was a POW. This was just like a memento of my family that you don't want lost to time. Someone has to keep it. My belief of a house is that it should make you happy. When I sit here, I feel comfortable. People come here, they feel comfortable. I just feel like it's me everywhere.